Welcome to Fantasy Football, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Are you seeking fantasy football's unsung heroes? Wondering who is the roster equivalent of the Tush push in fantasy football? Let's explore the types of players who deliver points effectively, even when it's not in the flashiest manner. In fantasy football, the key isn't always glamour. It's points on the board, no matter how they come. While there's no universal answer due to varying league settings and player availability, certain underrated players can be pivotal in close matchups. Let's dive into some player types who might not always make the highlight reel, but can rack up those crucial fantasy points. Volume-based running backs. Look for RBs who might not have the highest yards per carry, but get a lot of touches, especially goal line work. These players might not have big breakaway runs, but can accumulate points through sheer volume of carries and potential short yardage touchdowns. Some examples of volume-based running backs include Najee Harris, Pittsburgh. Known for getting a high volume of touches, both in the running and passing game. Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas. Often the focal point of the Raiders' rushing attack, Jacobs sees a significant number of carries. David Montgomery, Chicago. As a key part of the Bears' offense, Montgomery frequently gets a high volume of touches. Next up, we have possession receivers. Wide receivers who may not be big playmakers, but get a lot of targets, especially in PPR, points per reception leagues. They might not rack up a lot of yards, but their consistent receptions can add up to a solid points total. Some examples of possession receivers include Hunter Renfrow, Las Vegas. Known for his reliability and high target volume, especially in PPR formats. Amari Cooper, Cleveland. A consistent receiver who often gets a high number of targets. Michael Thomas, New Orleans. Assuming he returns healthy, Thomas is known for his high reception rate and role as a primary target. The next type of player on our list is dual threat quarterbacks. QBs who might not have the best passing stats, but can accumulate rushing yards and touchdowns. These players can provide a solid floor due to their rushing ability, which is typically more valuable than passing yards in most fantasy formats. Some examples of dual threat quarterbacks include Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia. Merges solid passing with agile rushing, offering a versatile scoring source in fantasy lineups. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore. Known for his exceptional mobility, Jackson's running prowess adds significant fantasy scoring potential. Justin Fields. Chicago. Fields combines a powerful arm with notable running ability, offering valuable dual threat scoring in fantasy play. The next player type we're looking for. Tight ends on pass-heavy teams. Tight ends who might not be the top options on their team, but are on offenses that pass frequently. They can be especially valuable in the red zone, providing a good chance for a touchdown. Some examples of tight ends on pass-heavy teams are Dallas Goedert, Philadelphia. On a team with a strong passing game, Goedert has the potential for a high number of targets. Pat Freiermuth, Pittsburgh. Showed potential in his rookie season and could become a key target, especially in the red zone. Dalton Kincaid, Buffalo. As part of a high-octane Bills offense, Kincaid has the potential to become a key red zone target while capitalizing on the team's prolific passing game. For our next player type strategy, let's shift to the defensive side of the ball. We'll call this the defense matched up against a weak offense tactic. The idea here is simple. Even if a defense isn't top tier overall, facing a struggling offense can turn them into a one-week fantasy goldmine. Look for matchups where turnovers and sacks are more likely, leading to higher fantasy points. Now let's spotlight some teams that excel in this scenario. Buffalo Bills. With their formidable defense, the Bills are often a smart choice when up against offensively challenged teams. San Francisco 49ers. Boasting a robust defensive lineup, San Francisco is known to capitalize on the weaknesses of struggling offenses. Tampa Bay. Buccaneers. Thanks to their aggressive pass rush and solid defense, the Buccaneers can really shine against weaker opponents. Finally, let's turn our attention to one of the most underestimated positions in fantasy football, the kicker. Often overlooked, kickers can be the unsung heroes of your fantasy roster. We're going to call this the kickers on high-scoring teams strategy. The idea is to target kickers from teams that frequently find themselves in scoring range. Even if these teams don't always finish drives with touchdowns, their kickers get plenty of field goal attempts, racking up points for your fantasy team. Here are a few kickers that fit this mold. Harrison Butker, Kansas City. Playing for a high-scoring offense, he often has multiple scoring opportunities. Justin Tucker, Baltimore. Known for his accuracy and playing for a team that frequently gets into scoring range. Matt Gay, Los Angeles Rams. Part of an offense that often puts up points, providing many kicking opportunities. Just like Jalen Hurts powering through on a 4th and 1, we hope these insights help push you into your fantasy playoffs. Remember, fantasy football isn't just about big names, it's also about smart, unconventional picks. So, who are your reliable, under-the-radar players? Share your go-to choices for those crucial, hard-earned points in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Your support means the world to us. Stay tuned for more fantasy football strategies, tips, and fun right here on Fantasy Football, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's to your next fantasy football championship.